Hey there, today is Monday, May the 2nd, and we're reading, there's four passages today to read. 1 Samuel 18 and 19, that's what I'm going to talk about just a little bit. There's also 1 Chronicles 3, Psalm 59, and Acts 13. Four places to read throughout the Word of God as we weave this story of God's creation, His kingdom all together. In 1 Samuel 18 and 19, we're moving through the accounts of King Saul, the first king of Israel, and David, who will be the second king of Israel. We've passed the moment where David has gone out, he's fought Goliath, and he's won that great battle with the strength of the Lord moving and working through him to rescue all the people of God. And now David has gone to work for the king. And King Saul is suffering from some incredible paranoia and fear and jealousy. Check this out. In 1 Samuel 18, it says in verse 3 or 5, I can't really read very good. Whatever mission Saul sent him on, David was so successful that Saul gave him a high rank. So David's doing great. Everything's going well. But then David is a little too great. And the people start to sing about him. The people start singing in verse 7. Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands. The song, if you were going to paraphrase it and put it in other terms, the song says, Saul is really good, but David is awesome. Saul's, man, he's a lot of fun, but David really brings the party. Saul's a good leader, but David would be a better king. The people are singing songs about how great David is. I don't know if they're really saying Saul's not good, but they're lifting David up. They're focusing on him. Saul hears all of this. He's very angry. And he thought, they've credited him with tens of thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom? And Saul, from this moment on, is going to withdraw into himself, to live in his paranoia and his fear. And the root of this whole thing is pride, which leads to jealousy. And Saul is afraid of what he could lose because Saul views everything as a possession for himself. I want to encourage you, as we read through this and think through this, don't think about it in terms of an antique history lesson with King Saul and the next King David, and don't think of it that way. Examine the heart of humans in this. Saul, who by all accounts was tall, handsome, strong, powerful, he was imposing, he was a good leader, he'd been anointed by the prophet of the Lord to be the king. Saul was in a place that he was supposed to be in. David was in a place he was supposed to be in. He was serving at the pleasure of the king. But as David's popularity increased, as David's competency increased, Saul couldn't handle it. How many times have you felt that people at your workplace or your home or your school, your neighborhood, your town, wherever you go, your church maybe, how many times have you felt that other people are putting you at risk of losing what you have? How many times have you imagined that other people had an agenda to take things from you that they might not have even thought of themselves? But we begin to live in jealousy, and we live in jealousy. We withdraw to ourselves, and we push people away, and we begin to let our thoughts grow dark, and we grow bitter and angry, and pull away from God. If Satan can get a hold of your heart, if Satan can convince you to view people as possessions, relationships as things to own and things to control, if Satan can get you to view your money, your house, your job as things to lose, that he can get a hold of your heart. And when he does, you will fall out of the position God has put you into, and you will fall out of the path that you should be walking. And jealousy will destroy you. It will destroy you. Jealousy, this pride, this jealousy is the reason that Saul eventually loses his kingdom. It is the reason that God rejects Saul. It's the reason that Saul does not accomplish the potential that God had put in him. Today, I want to encourage you. Examine the people around you. Think about your job, your workplace, and your family. And you resolve yourself to live without jealousy and to live with love instead. To view people as things to be cherished and improved, and things you can add value to, and people you can help, you view people as a place to exercise love and reject the lie that Satan sells you about being jealous. I hope today that you will thrive in relationships instead of destroying them. I hope today that you will live like God made you to live. Until I see you again, you are sent.